I think one thing that everybody who's played Helldivers 2 at this point can agree upon is that when they saw the Jar-5 Dominator in the Steeled Veterans War Bond when the game first launched, or if you played it recently for the first time, you looked at this thing and was like, man, the thing looks cool. It's gonna be, well, dominant, right? When people started to unlock this weapon, it was pretty clear from the get-go that this thing was anything but dominant, which was pretty sad in my opinion. I mean, listen to this laughably invalid description, for example. It says, firing jet-propelled rounds, the Dominator trades fire rate and magazine capacity for increased damage per projectile. Now that sounds friggin' dope. I mean, yeah, it's like a friggin' explosive round you're shooting at enemies. That's really cool in my opinion. However, it was quickly realized that not only was the magazine and the fire rate very low on this weapon, but the ergonomics was terrible, the overall clunkiness of the weapon in terms of swaying side to side, and just in general, it just didn't feel good to use. And then on top of that, the damage was really bad. I mean, it was barely able to kill some of the lower tier bug enemies, let alone some of the higher tier bug enemies. Well, my friends, in the most recent weapon balancing for Helldivers 2, they finally gave this weapon the love it needed, and I'm here to tell you, the Jar-5 Dominator is back, baby. Sorta. So what changed? The Dominator's damage was increased from 200 to 300, and the stagger per shot was increased as well. Thank goodness, because this thing was like shooting pillows at the enemy and was overall very frustrating because, again, like I said, it was very clunky, but it just didn't do a lot of damage. The stagger potential against enemies was not something I really paid much attention to when I was playing Helldivers 2 in the earlier stages of the game, but now that things like the Slugger Shotgun have had their stagger chances reduced greatly, and then the Dominator have had their stagger chance increased greatly, I notice it all the time now, and it's just a thing I can't unnotice. And things like the Dominator actually now dominating and pushing enemies back when you shoot at them is just incredibly useful in my opinion. One of the other unique things about the Jar-5 Dominator that I haven't mentioned yet is the fact that it can penetrate medium armor, which is pretty rare amongst the primary weapons, and of all the primary weapons that can penetrate medium armor, this was by far the worst, but now it's by far the best because, again, they've increased the stagger potential, which makes this way more effective, because one of the big things that was hurting this weapon was it does have a slower fire rate, and the fact that when you're shooting the Devastator robots, the rocket or the gun Devastators, they would just shoot you and you could never get a clean shot on their weak spot, which was annoying. Now you're gonna see some footage here because the bots don't exist anymore. I was actually going to do some gameplay of me fighting the bots so you can see this in action. But now with the Devastators, you can just shoot them and they're staggered up, and it's actually much easier to hit them in the face and actually kill them much more efficiently. Same thing on the bug side with the Warriors and the Stalkers and the Hive Guards, is that you really just do significantly more damage and they're staggered up. Especially the Stalkers, it's really nice because if one's charging you, you're gonna keep hitting it, and eventually a couple of times I've noticed if they get hit too many times with the stagger, they're just gonna run away, and that's actually pretty cool in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna dive into a quick level 5 mission, and just to talk about the Dominator again a little bit more. It does not do that well against the elites, meaning the Vile Titans and the Chargers, but the one thing I will say is that against the Chargers' weak spots, more specifically, it does a lot of work. Like when you hit it in the butt, it will destroy that little butt part of it really, really fast, which is awesome. But again, it doesn't penetrate the armor. With the Vile Titans, it's the same thing. It will destroy the little sack thing underneath the Vile Titans as well. I don't think anything's going to be any more satisfying than diving in right here. It's always going to be epic, especially in this background of Hellmire. Oh my goodness, I love these rings and that planet in the background. Man, I freaking love this game. It's so awesome. So there is a couple of different fire modes with the Dominator. It can do burst or semi-automatic if you didn't know, and then it also has a flashlight, obviously, like the other weapons in the game, or some of the other weapons. And the reserve clips, it's got 6 reserve clips, which is not a lot, but it does burn pretty quickly. Let's take out this cloud maker, as I call it. Get rid of that so we can actually see some stuff. All right, let's go find some medium armor units so I can show you this thing in action. It's absolutely eviscerating those hunters. Oh, is that a warrior? Okay, let's see. The warrior. Absolutely destroy that warrior's head. It's awesome. There's another spore cloud around here somewhere. Okay. Part of the reason why I chose level 5 is because the enemies' damage and overall aggressiveness doesn't change, just the amount of enemies change, so I don't have to be so overwhelmed when I'm doing commentary here. But yeah, you'll see I'm gonna go against this guy here. Just basically two-shotted that medium armored unit pretty well. There's the hunters, they're all gonna die quickly. Just overall, like, the way you want to play this weapon is you want to take your time with the shots. Yes, I know there's going to be a lot of bugs charging you, but just taking your time, lining up your shots, hitting the critical spots will absolutely destroy these weapons. Like, look how much damage it's doing against these warriors. Absolutely just killing them. And it makes that magazine go a lot longer than you would think, which is nice. Oops, died. That was embarrassing. Died. Don't look at that footage. I'm gonna make sure to edit that out. Again, it's still a little bit inconsistent when dealing with some of the medium units, but for the most part, like I said, you just one or two shot the majority of them, and the warriors especially, you just one shot. Okay, here's a hive guard. Let's see how we do against him. If you hit the hive guards in the right spot, you'll one shot them sometimes. I'm really hoping with the new explosive weapons that come out in this war bond, they're a little bit more effective, because the radius on this weapon is not that great for being an explosive weapon. But again, I think it's more steered toward precision than it is like just explosive type damage. Even though it does say explosive, I think it's more of like a precision, like a slug type shot, if that makes sense. Because I thought this was a shotgun at first, but it actually is, I don't know, like a hybrid, it feels like, between a shotgun and a rifle, I guess. I missed a charger. Come on, guys. I just want to fight the Charger one-on-one. Why do you guys have to be here? We got a whole mess of people coming to us now. Deal with them real quick. Go. Centimeter grenade, absolutely incredible now. Just melting those bugs away.
Fire in the hole! How'd you like to taste your freedom?
Taking our time lining up those shots, letting the fire do its work. See, the reload is not egregious on this weapon, which is one thing I like. I mean, even though it is a little bit clunkier to use, the reload is not too bad. Got stuck on the charger there. Buddy. Gun is not the best aiming down sights. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it does work, I guess. It's a little bit less clunky, but I just don't like the aim down sights on it at all, to be honest with you. A little fire is gonna heat up the bugs for me. Thanks, fire. Thanks, fire tornado. You're the best. We gotta move. We're really behind here on destroying bug holes. Grenade for you. Grenade for you. Waste. Alright, back to the extraction. Let's get the hell out of here. Here we go.
Get some! Get some!
Charger, I would love to deal with you, but I'm gonna I'm trying to actually get out of here.
Administering freedom. Have a taste of democracy!
That's a lot of freaking kills with that. 24. Take it. Go, go. Go, 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 go.
T-minus 20 seconds. T-minus 10 seconds.
Throwing grenade.
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone. This is Pelican 1, preparing for touchdown.
Hold on for me, Pelican 1. Let's get out of here.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds.
Nice, easy level
Extraction
5.
complete. Pelican 1.
Now look, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that this is the best weapon since sliced bread now that it has increased damage and increased stagger, but it is significantly better than it was at launch. And if you just don't like weapons like this that have a slower ergo or just a smaller magazine, just in general feel a little clunky to use, but pack a punch, you're not gonna like this weapon. That's just, doesn't matter how much damage they add to this thing, you're just not gonna like it. But if you like weapons that do hit a little bit harder, maybe have a little bit of a slower fire rate, and just overall just are a little bit clunkier to use, cool, you're gonna love this weapon because it packs a serious punch now and is very viable against the bugs more specifically, and does have a good amount of use cases when the bots do come back or whatever enemies we have. We'll see how it does against those enemies in the future. I don't know, Helldivers 2 is wide open in terms of the enemies that we're gonna have, but for now we have the bugs, so just go use this thing like crazy against the bugs while we have it. I hope this video was helpful for you and you got to see that the Jar-5 is not complete crap anymore and you can actually use it, and I hope this was helpful. But anyways, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Jar-5, if you've been using it. If you haven't used it yet, are you gonna start using it? And I don't know, just let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Anyways, do all the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.